I just wanted to reach out because I've just kind of been in a weird funk the past couple weeks.
Mm.
Um, had some good coaching with Heather on Monday, and like, yeah, just in this weird space of like not quite sure what I'm doing. Super excited to do like content creation packages and kind of make like an in-house studio thing, but COVID kind of restricts a lot of that. So I've been doing mostly consulting work, and like it's fine, but I'm not like overly motivated about it or excited about it. I mean, it pays the bills and it's easy. Um, and I'm just like, there's a lot of imposter syndrome going on. Wondering like, am I actually good at anything? So I don't know. I needed someone to soundboard with and just get a sense like, should I just quit this avenue and pursue something else? Yeah, just, yeah, there's lots of little bits and pieces that like shout at me that kind of validate that option and vice versa.
Yeah, there will always be, right? On
Yeah.
on either side, validations for and against. Uh, you'll never win in
Mm-hmm.
that game because there will always be the opposite justification.
Right.
I'm successful, but maybe I shouldn't be or can't be or won't be for very long or whatever, right? And I'm not successful, and maybe I will be if I continue on. And we're riddled with that level of uncertainty, and there's doing this, like just having conversations with people, is really the only way to continue moving forward, to test the assumptions and to keep going. So
Mm-hmm.
you said you had transitioned from doing content creation to consulting.
Yeah, I mean, there's little projects for creation, doing very like hands-on work with people to do the creation side, and then I'd go away and do whatever I have to do digitally. But the whole intention was one, like I was really clear that like I'm spending too much time in front of a screen,
Hmm.
and
And now you're
inherently,
back in front of a screen.
yeah, well, the thing that is in my world about it is that like COVID happened, so everyone moved to digital, so now it's like amplified, right? So I get in burnout a lot quicker because everyone is constantly online. So like I've been implementing structures and boundaries to like not kind of go there. So like I don't answer emails or calls on the weekends and things like that. But I'm just like in this doubt process of like, well, what am I really good at? Like, what can I pursue right now? Like, what do I want to be doing? Because like I like the coaching aspect and consulting aspect and teaching people. That's super fun for me. I don't know if it's resentment towards the social world right now, but there's part of me that kind of wants to find a way to like do something more creative and be outdoors and so forth. And
Hmm.
I'm just not sure. Like, so it feels weird because there's interactions with clients or partners and stuff that make me doubt that like the work I do is valuable. Like I can only take people so far.
Hmm.
So there's like this whole conversation that like I'm not meant to be that extraordinary.
Hmm.
um, so why bother? Like why don't I just go do something that just pays the bills?
Hmm.
So
Do you like doing the work?
um,
Like
depends what the work is.
when you're in the zone
Mhm.
and you're creating, is there a degree of fulfillment there for you? Like,
Yeah, 100%. Like
and are you clear what it looks like to be creating? Like pragmatically, is it clear for you what that is that has you be in the zone?
well, like I've been vetting like the projects that come my way.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be of interest, of course. Like I always use the example of how Queenie tried to get me to do work for a fireplace company, and I said no. There's nothing of interest there. And if it's like, within some comfort zone there, right? Like I'm clear that I'm not going to take on things that I'm not savvy with. And I have my own process of how I uncover that. So like that's all fine. I just like, I don't know, when I get responses like that, it makes me not sure, like, is anything I do worth it?
Consider the relationship. There was a lack of alignment to begin with.
Yeah.
And you probably, and I'm making an assumption here, already knew that, but you did it anyways.
Yeah.
Would that be correct?
Passive aggressive about it,
Yeah,
like
yeah, totally.
I didn't just say no.
Right. Yeah. So you already knew, and there was just the inevitability of however long it took to get to where you're at right now. And now you know, you've validated what you ignored as something that you shouldn't ignore next time.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a bit clearer who you can do really good work with and who you can't do really good work with, and how they need to show up and what doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
That this is the game, Alison.
Mm-hmm.
The game of exploring the unknown, the unfamiliar. You're like trying something on, and you're like, I think this is it. And then you're going to do some exploration, and you're going to discover, and it's going to be, some of it's like scary and like, oh my God, like that, and horrible, I don't want that. And then other things you're like, wow, that was amazing, and I really enjoyed that, and maybe that's it. And you continue to explore, and maybe there's parts of that occur in the next engagement, but it's not exactly like that. So there's you're never going to definitively get absolute clarity of what you're going to do, and
Mm-hmm.
who you're going to serve, and that it's going to always show up that way. It's just not going to go that way, but you can guide and direct to address those and honor those things that really made a difference for you, and not give any attention to those things that don't work for you. And there's just this constant guiding, right? This ebb and flow. And you are building a muscle here, right? There is a process. You're in the process of becoming a craftsperson, for lack of better terms. And you're getting clearer every time you're doing things, what that looks like. And there is an inevitability of working through some dirty stuff that's not very enjoyable to either serve as a reminder, or that was necessary in order to get to compress the charcoal to get the diamond, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the process. It's a constant. So your doubt is also inevitable. It's a byproduct of this work.
Yeah.
And then you just get to ask yourself, do I still want to do this work? If the answer is yes, in any capacity, yes, I like to do this work, then you just get back on the horse and you keep doing it. It's real simple if you allow it to be. And there is no more meaning or interpretation required. There's just, okay, what's the next action that I need to take in order to enable me to do this work, the work that you want to do, the work that you feel like you want to do, because it's right now, it's speculative. You think this is the work that you want to do, right? And sometimes it gets validated, sometimes it doesn't. And so you don't know 100% yet. It's okay. It's okay to not know right now. Like, you kind of have a guess, and you just get to trust yourself. And that's part of the process as well. It's like, oh, but I don't trust myself. Cool. Yeah. Trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a muscle to build.
Right.
Does that help at all?
Yeah. Yeah. I think like getting caught up in the doubt and stuff, I get that that's going to take me out, or try to take me out, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And it takes everybody out. I was there on Monday.
Yeah. Um, just processing it.
We you have an innate desire to want to be creative, right?
Yeah.
Your your desire to be creative does not have to come at the cost of being successful. You can have both. And in the process of being creative, exploring your creativity and expression of creativity, there is a whole lot of trying, and not just trying it once, but like committing to it and focusing on a particular thing for an extended period of time. Look at Maya, the prime example. She had a curiosity for art, has always had a curiosity for art, and played in all sorts of different boxes. Was told that she needs to play in a box that is going to pay her well, and so thought that that was graphic design. Did that for 15 years, and then came out of it at the end going, "This isn't it. It's missing something for me," and not honoring that along the way, right? Like not, or not even hearing it yet, because there probably was something that it satisfied in the moment, but there was a lot of things that it didn't. And she couldn't have gotten to where she's at now without going through what she went through. That's just the reality of it, right? We hope for the shortcut. It's like the secret passage where you just like avoid the dark, scary place and you come out into paradise. Oh man, wouldn't that be awesome? But then it is in the journey where the real value and the real lessons and the discoveries happen. We go through the darkness, we go into the valley. We need to go into the valley in order to rise to get to the other mountain, as it were, right?
Yeah.
But it's not permanent, it's temporary. We're traveling. So long as we're traveling, if you're staying there stationary in the center of the valley, oh man, you're never getting anywhere, right? It's
Right.
perpetually forever. But that's not you. That's not how you work. You're constantly exploring. So for Maya, it was playing with a little bit of watercolor, not being very good at it, getting validation, small validation along the way, and then just allowing the exploration to happen, not expecting that she's going to do a Mona Lisa or a Michelangelo right out of the gate. Um, Trusting that it's a process to go through, and she continues to do that every day. She hasn't arrived anywhere yet. There's no destination in this. It is embracing the creative process, and it's an ongoing, ever going exercise. And along the way, you are servicing clients, and there are some wins there, and there's some lessons, and there's some accomplishments, and there's some failures, and those are the bumpers of the pinball machine that is your life, your professional life, your personal life, right? All of that. And so you just keep playing the game. If this is the game that you want to play, which I feel like it is, and you are the only one who can really, if you were to really look and say and ask yourself, do I enjoy doing this kind of work for clients, for people? And it's simple. The answer is either yes or no. And if the answer is yes, okay, there's just work to be done. And there is conversations to be had when there's a little bit of doubt that starts to set in, to um, to work towards getting that next level of clarity. It's like, do you play games, video games?
Yeah, some games.
What's some of the games that you've played?
Like Super Mario and
Oh,
Pokemon kind of stuff.
perfect example. Super Mario. There are areas of the map that you haven't explored yet. Are you excited about and in this, in reflection, were you excited about what the next level was going to be like what were some of the obstacles were going to be, and some of the monsters were going to be, like how you were going to approach it?
Mm-hmm.
Were you excited about that?
Yeah, I think so.
I would imagine, otherwise you wouldn't play the game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But and so we play the game and we die, and we play the game and we die, and we play the game, and Mario Brothers is notorious for that. Like you just keep on dying, and you just relentlessly continue.
Mm.
But we don't do that in our life. We stop playing the game. We need to keep playing the game. And if it's, but only if it's a game that you like to play. I
Mm-hmm.
hate Mario Brothers. I fucking hate it. I can't stand it
Mm-hmm.
for many reasons. But then there are other games where it's just the same but different. I will play and I'll die, and play and I'll die, and play and I'll die. And I'm just like, and I'm excited. I'm like, oh man, I'm going to try it again. Right. Oh no, I know what I did or I didn't do. And I got to do this next time. And I'm back in the game, and I'm back in the game. And I do that for hours. But then in my real life, I have one failure. I'm like, oh, well, that's it. I guess I wasn't meant to do that. Well, it's ridiculous, David. Right. So, but, and I'm clear that I like to play this game. And so I get to spend time on, I posted a link on Facebook, on LinkedIn about being a doer versus an achiever.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really powerful article.
Is it
Actually,
an article?
it's an Inc. article.
Okay. Yeah, I opened it and I just haven't had a chance to read it.
Yeah, have a read of that, and then set it aside, and then read it later on today. As a matter of fact, you should have a look at that every day this week.
Okay.
Just because as it starts to settle, it begins to make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to look at how that's translating in your world, in the actions that you're taking, or in the thoughts that you're having, and the ways you're showing up, and all of that. Like you start to see this really interesting dichotomy between the two ways of being for yourself. The confident Alison who just like wants to create and wants to help and wants to do things, and then the Alison that is uncertain and scared and not willing to take the next step.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah, there's stuff to chew on.
There always is.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So what was there a particular objective for this call for you? Like was there something that you wanted to or hoping to get out of it?
I'm not sure. Like I was just like really inclined to reach out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I've been in a bit of a fog all week. I was like, who could I talk to? Like obviously Heather, I have my call with her. And I chatted with my brother a bit. But I don't know, you and Maya, just for some reason, I always am comfortable to reach out to, and I'm like excited about what you guys are up to. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, I feel like you guys come at it in a neutral standpoint, so I'm not always like, you know, feeling one way or another about it.
Right. What is there something that you think I could help you with?
I'm not sure. I think I'm like, part of me is kind of like looking for, you know, I guess suggestions of based of what people like. One thing I want to do is make a survey to send out to like people I've worked with closely and get their 2 cents about what I'm up to or what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like I don't feel like I have a lot of direction right now. Like I mean, I've been building structures and stuff to just like maintain some balance and focus as I go, but there still doesn't feel like I'm clear on what it is I want to be doing right now. Like right now it's like a means to an end and figuring that out until things blow over.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure.
So the things that you're doing that's a means to an end, what are they specifically?
Like I got a lot of referrals for like sales pages, designs, some social strategy, just like mini consulting gigs that are just quick and one-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which kind of like it works for me right now because Sadie's at home full time. So I'm not like knocking that. Like I do kind of like that, but I just like I feel like the wind got kind of taken out of my sails with the content creation. Like, and I don't feel inspired of like what I want to be writing about right now.
What did you want to write about before that you were inspired about?
Well, like I have had a plan to like expand on that ebook based on like the subtopics.
Mm-hmm.
Because tons of people have been sending me like praise about it, and like it's got a crazy amount of downloads and everything. And it's just like once I sit down to get writing it, like I'm just, I'm not inspired to do it. And I mean, it's like it's on my time kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, should I be spending time on that, or should I be spending time trying to get some extra cash in?
Mm-hmm. What do you think you should be doing?
Well, right now, like this week, I'm really clear that like I'm burnt out, and I'm likely going to take a couple days off next week just to like recharge
Mm-hmm.
and clear my head.
And what does that look like? A recharge to clear your head?
Well, I'm just like super clear. I haven't been taking care of myself because like I'm taking care of everybody else right now.
Mm-hmm.
So just like being disconnected digitally, um, exercising, sleeping properly, doing like a hobby that I actually care about.
Which is?
Like, I don't know, like skateboarding, going hiking, biking, exercise is a big one. So yeah, I'm clear that like I'm not efficient if I'm not taking care of myself. So
Totally. The writing, do you like to write?
mhm.
What is it about writing that you like?
um, well, there's two sides. I like storytelling and opinion pieces because
Why?
there's usually an emotional resonance there, like love stories of overcoming, or like just anything that's honest and like straight, just raw, I guess. So I like those kinds of things. And then I do enjoy like, demystifying people's fears like about digital stuff, like really breaking down like, social media isn't so scary. Like there's all these things that people like they hear the word and they get like stuck on it rather than taking action on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like making things a little bit methodical and like process driven. Um, because I don't know, I like giving people that power back because they can get very caught in their ways.
The do you think here's the thing that I grapple with the work that I'm doing right now, and maybe there's something you get out of the example. So I did a series on why you need to build a personal brand.
Mm-hmm.
6 videos, talking head, an outline, make sure I get my points like that, right? And I did it, and I put them out there, and it's good. It's good that I did that. And I am not it was the sense of accomplishment that I feel about those is like me, even though it for somebody else it might be like the best thing that they've done to do this series, and they're super proud of it, and they're constantly sharing it and like that. And then I look at the video I did that combined my poetry with some of the visioning work, the feed and seeds, right? The video, and I collapsed them together, and I created something.
Mm-hmm.
it was a natural self-expression for me that recharged me and that I continue to share all the time. And I noticed something between the two. One was something that I created because I created the story that I guess I should do a series on why build a personal brand. And it logically, it makes total sense, right? I'm a personal brand strategist. I should have a series on why do personal brand. But that's as far as it went. There wasn't the excitement. I didn't tap into the creativity, the energy of being creative in doing that work.
Right.
Not to diminish the work that was done. I think it's good work, but it wasn't honoring what deep down I wanted to spend time on and get better at. What I'm clear now is it lives inside of my poetry. I want to share and I want to perform and I want to entertain and I want to figure out how me, David Schmeichel, how I do that. And I can only ever do that by exploring and trying and experimenting and sucking and like repeat and scratched out pages and like doing that work, right? That's the heavy lifting, the work to be done in order to elevate what I tap into every once in a while when I do something like that, when I honor my self-expression and my creativity. And there will be different versions of something like that in the future. And it will do the same. In fact, it will do better than my series on brand. Because that's not me. It is, but it's not. It's like the safe me, but I'm not playing the safe game. I don't want to play the safe game. It's about being bold and courageous. It's about standing out. But in order to stand out for each of us, there is a thing that we must do to honor that. And what is that for you? Right? That creative expression. Is it a process-driven document to help somebody with social media? Maybe. Is it stories that have a really captivating storyline with a protagonist and antagonist that maybe represents what you're trying to do and get people to understand that is the game that's social media? I don't know. Maybe it's that too. What is your ultimate creative expression that if you would to let yourself just create, you would feel flow and you would feel fulfillment? And yeah, maybe you're not as proficient in it, but you're willing to play the game over and over and over and over because there is something there that has you just willing to do it again.
Right.
If you allow yourself, give yourself the space to do that, as opposed to, I gotta do this article on, I'm making shit up here, what stops you from doing social media. It's not exciting, it's not compelling because it's all out there already, and you know that, right? Like deep down, you know, like that this is not it, but I feel like I have to do this. No, you get to spend your time on the creativity. Here's a really good example. Remember the videos that you did that just ignited all of us and then kind of deflated? Do you know why it deflated?
No, I'm not sure.
What was there in yours that was lacking in ours?
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. All right, cool. So my observation of that is it was inspired action in the moment. You just created something and it was produced. There was a story being told, but it was composed right? Like there was a nuance to it. There was a captivation with the B-roll and the different shots, and like it was intentionally created. Ours were forced.
Yeah.
Ours were forced to try and strive and attempt to create the same thing, but that wasn't my. What if? And at the time, I don't think I had it then. What if it was me performing a piece based on why? Do you know what I mean? Do you get
Yeah.
where I'm going with
Yeah.
this? What if it was a piece with Maya painting? That now the energy is completely shifted for all of them because we actually honored each of our creative expressions. Yours, I'm making a bold assertion here, lives inside of video and photography and capturing and telling a story through that visual medium, if I'm not mistaken. Am I on point or am I off?
No, no, I think it's like, I think that's where I've been like reeling around in is like, I think it's a combination of those things and how to bring them all together. Like, I love doing that.
Mm-hmm. And
Uh,
how do you bring them all together?
yeah.
That's your game, Alison.
Hmm.
That's the game you get to explore and create. It's not one or the other. It's how do you bring them all together? It is the embodiment, the epitome of your self-expression, the writing, the photography, the video. It's the recipe for your self-expression.
Right.
And you
Okay.
just haven't been doing it. You
Yeah.
haven't allowed yourself to be on camera or take photos or tell story.
Right.
You've been doing documents that support people in their challenges through social media, and it's stiff and it's valuable, but it's not your true self-expression, not entirely. It's only
Mm.
missing a piece. Is that landing?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's
I just want to make sure I'm not putting stuff in your space and adding further confusion.
no, it like what comes up is it makes sense of why I made that shift, like to the
Mhm.
content creation stuff. So it's like, how can I make it work?
How do you create your own content?
Yeah.
That video that you created moved us. Do you get that?
Hmm.
We were inspired by your creative expression in that video, so much so that we wanted our own. Can you
Yeah.
do one for us? But what was missing is, and this is your excellence that you get to work on, is uncovering what's complementary to that person's self-expression that needs to be part of the story being told. For me, it's my poetry and potentially my video games, although that's still like I'm not sure what that looks like, but for sure it is my poetry and my desire to perform. And there are many things that are stopping me from doing that.
Hmm.
And there are then many reasons as to why I feel like it's not working, because it's not working. I'm not working it. I'm not allowing myself to take that on and to do that work. I'm I'm giving the consideration and the justification that well, yeah, but I should just do this over here. And then I'm left unfulfilled and feeling like this isn't it, because I'm not honoring what's there. And it's a lot to do because I haven't been able to, at the time, haven't been able to articulate it and express it in a way that landed for me, because I wasn't honoring my creativity.
Right.
There's this distinction that got created with this gentleman that I'm hoping to engage in a coaching engagement with, although it's like substantial, so I got to get the money first. But he talks about, do you want to be the creator or your biggest disappointed fan? Holy
Mm.
shit. Like it's palpable on my side. I don't know about you, but when I put myself in the position of being my biggest disappointed fan, I don't want to be there. So I get to be creator.
Hmm.
So be creator.
Right.
And you already know where you want to create. You just get to honor it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's helpful. Sorry, I've been like in super processing mode all week, so if I'm not like
Yeah, it's all good.
emotive about it, it's not you.
And
It's
you should write about this. You should
Mhm.
spend the time. If you want to talk about decompression and recharge, how often do you write and journal about what's going on?
Oh, all the time now, yeah.
Do you actually, like, daily? This is a thing that you do?
Like not like extensively, but you should see the amount of paper on my desk that just has like the things that come up and then in my journal as I go.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like I am not the type that can like intentionally sit down with my journal.
Well,
Um,
that's a bullshit story, and I don't buy it, because anybody who's creative, Maya sits down and does painting, and for her to say, and she does this, she'll sit in front of her computer and not know what to paint, which is bullshit. It's just the unwillingness to put pen to paper or paint to paper,
mhm,
and you just do that. You commit to writing shit, because here's the thing. This is the other. Um, I'm I'm saying that the reason why is because it's not going to be perfect what you write, and so you don't write it. There is no perfection. There is simply the exercise of putting pen to paper,
mhm,
and then watch what happens. Something ignites. Sometimes it's big, sometimes it's little. It's in the action of putting pen to paper, and it can be as simple as just contemplating about your day, future or present, in the moment, and not having any expectations of what comes out of it, and get that something comes out of it always. It's just whether you're present to it or not. Journaling, writing, much like painting or drawing, is the act of being present. You're just not willing to be present because you have the story and the justification that you should be doing something else,
mm,
but you're not even sure what else that is. And so you're in this perpetual loop of not doing anything, feeling like you should be doing something, not doing anything, feeling like you should be doing, like, it's fucking
yeah,
insane, right? So you just get to break the cycle and start writing whatever it is, whatever's there. It could be that, right? And it's the process of just pulling that out there. And you say you like stories, but you're not writing.
mhm.
You just get to start writing.
Okay. Well, that's a really good idea. There's stuff brewing.
There always will be. That's the funny, ironic, not surprised byproduct that comes out of this. Like,
Mhm.
I feel like I like the ideas are coming. Well, go fucking figure. But this is the thing that we stop honoring,
Mhm,
because, and again, read that article, The Doer versus the Achiever. It's profound
mhm,
in its simplicity of the dichotomy between those two mindsets.
mhm,
You're stuck in a doing mindset. I find myself stuck in a doing mindset often, and I'm striving for being an achiever. And it's just this battle, right? It's my Ragnarok. It's the ultimate battle. And but what I'm committed to is to honor the achiever inside of me, because it's powerful, and there's space, and there's creativity, and there's excitement, and there's possibility. Like, all of that lives inside of the achiever, not inside the doer. The doer is
mhm,
heavy and structured and overly rigid and lacking expression and contained, and oh man, it's not a fun place to be.
mhm,
And that's a byproduct of our stories and our upbringing and society and culture and blah blah blah, right?
mhm,
Achiever is the honoring of your true self and the discovering of your true self. And for you, it's just embracing your creativity, getting in front of the camera and being intentional about it, and not worrying about the outcome, that it's got to be perfect or
mhm,
it's got to be a certain thing. It doesn't have to be anything. It is in the act of being creative where we get to be more creative. and something happens, maybe not right away, maybe in a couple days, who knows? It doesn't matter. It has to go through its own cycle. You have to honor it. It has to build its own momentum.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. I
Okay.
might end up using this video, by the way, if you're open to that.
Yeah.
The journey, the exploration, like the embracing creativity. That's the piece that I really want to pull out of here,
Mm.
because we owe it to ourselves to honor our creative tendencies. And I want to see some fucking video from you, man.
I know I haven't done any in a long time.
No, you haven't. I know you haven't. That's why
I just, I think the thing is I get caught up on like who are the big players in that, and then I'm like,
who gives a shit?
yeah.
Who gives a shit? Your biggest player that you have to worry about is yourself.
Right.
And this is the thing that I get to grapple with as well, right? Oh, I'm not this guy over here or this gal over there. Like, holy shit, they're really good. Fuck that shit. Doesn't matter. I get to look at myself yesterday and say, did I level up? Did I do something bold and courageous that I wasn't willing to do before? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, that's my opportunity. That's the game. And we are the only players in our own game. There is nobody else. We think there are other players in our game. The only player is us and ourselves.
Okay.
So create something and share it.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. Well, but there's no, oh boy, okay. It's like, yeah, I will. Because you got to get represent to that video that you did. That was the epitome, the incubation of your creativity was inside of that video. And then unfortunately, we all came in and kind of mutated the fuck out of it. It's unfortunate. We did do that. And we all came with best intentions, but we didn't know any better. Now I know. And now you know the essence of what that was. You get to go back to that and create that and get back into the momentum to get back up to that place of creating at that level again.
Okay.
Okay.
Give it a go.
Yeah. That's all you can do. Give it a go. And then another, and then another, and just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. And be okay with the work that you're doing. That's just putting food on the table. It's enabling you to just be creative. It's okay. It doesn't have to be exactly the way you think you thought it was, because you don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Okay.
You've just forgotten how to express yourself creatively, and you just get to do that now. It's perfect. It's perfect. Okay. Be excited about that.
Yeah. I have to get off my burnout first.
Start writing, get outside. Yeah, do those things. Get on the board. Absolutely. Do those things. Honor it. Honor it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No worries.
Right. Let me know if you need anything from me as well.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted for sure.
Okay. Thanks for your time, David.
All right. See you later.
Bye.